Alright. You gonna talk real quick?
Test 1, 2, 3. It's me, Lee. Just had a chili doggy.
Let me see if this is on. Oh, it's mine. Cool. Awesome. Alright. Ready to do this?
Ready, let's go.
Alright. So what's up, everybody? This is Ruben Garcia, and this is a beautiful day. And today we have Proven by Ruben podcast, and we've got Lee Vasi with us.
Hi.
What's up, Lee?
What's up? Thank you for having me.
Of course, of course. Alright, so if you could, tell the people who you are, what you do, how you do it, and all that good jazz.
So I'm Lee Vasi. I'm a singer-songwriter. I'm currently contestant on season 1 of American Idol on ABC. And I do it by the grace of God.
Awesome,
Yeah.
awesome. Very cool. So you've been pretty booked, been pretty
Yes.
busy, right?
Yes, I have.
Talk to us about that. How's that been, the transition, the busyness of it? How's that been?
So to be busy is what everybody wants in whatever field they're in, you know. Like I was telling you earlier, you know, I always say that I'd rather be booked and busy than bored and broke.
Yep.
So, you know, I'm really excited about how busy I am right now. I'm really excited about how busy I am right now. I'm really excited that people are wanting to learn about me and get to know me and know that I exist. So it's really exciting time.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, I know, because you got probably a ton of people coming from you from different angles.
Yeah.
But so that's why I really appreciate you coming by here
course.
today.
Of
So
course.
one thing I noticed I thought was pretty cool, and I feel like a lot of other people are noticing this, is the Polaroids.
Oh, yeah.
Talk to me about the Polaroids. I freaking love the Polaroids.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks so much.
Yeah.
I don't know. The Polaroids were just an idea that I had because I was thinking about my Instagram layout. I don't know if you've looked at my Instagram at Lee Vasi. It's pretty planned out right now, and so I have all Polaroids in the middle of my feed.
Gotcha.
And so, yeah, I think that it's really, I always wanted to get into photography. I've been doing music and acting and modeling since I was a little girl, but I've always wanted to get into photography. Didn't really know, like, you know, how to do that. And I'm not the type to take a lot of selfies. I don't like to take a lot of pictures on my iPhone. And people always assume that I would be, but I really don't. I'm really not on my phone a lot. But so what I like about the Polaroids is that, like, you have to really find the angle and you have to really, like, creative direct your life, you know? So that's what I like about the Polaroids.
Yeah. I think it brings you back too, right?
Yeah, it's just like more sentimental, and I like put all of them in photo albums, right? So like at my viewing party for my episode of American Idol, I had 40 pictures. I had 40 like film sheets, and I was like, okay, I have to use this wisely, you know. So I was like, I want a picture of this. I want to make sure I get a picture of this.
You stopped everything. It was like, reload.
Yeah. Because it was important to me. I wanted to capture specific moments, because with a Polaroid, you can't just snap. You have to be really specific about it. So
And just on my end, like the business side of the world, it separates you, right? Like, because everyone, listen, iPhone just came out, the best quality you can get in a picture. And when someone sees that, it's kind of like expected. But man, when you bring out the Polaroids, I think you capture not only someone's attention because it's like a break in what they always see. But you also capture like the 80s babies like me, you know, it's like bringing it back a little bit. So I just love that. So I had to bring that up.
Oh, thank you for noticing.
Of course. What other style do you think that you'll be bringing to the table that's different? Because we see that, but what is something that we're missing that you bring to the table?
What, like as far as like my music brand?
Sure.
So, okay, so I'll just talk a little bit about my music right now, I guess. So I make Spanglish-pop-R&B is how I describe it. I'm bilingual, I speak English and Spanish, and it's important for me to, you know, represent every part of who I am, you know, and I also think that it's a really important time to represent Afro-Latinas, because I think that, you know, for so long, you know, the media has only portrayed one version of what a Latina can look like, and that's just not true, you know, and so it's important for me because I have so many different musical influences, and I come from a multicultural and racial household. It's important for me to use that in my music and to represent every aspect of who I am. So I think that's something that's a little different. I use like R&B chords and trap percussion and everything, but I also will bring in Latin instruments and rhythms and sounds, and all my not all my lyrics, but my songs are always bilingual. So I'll go back and forth between English and Spanish in it. Yeah, so I did a coaching a little bit earlier. We had a group of agents that I was coaching with, and they brought up the Spanglish. Like I mean, for a good 5 minutes, that's all we talked about. So I mean, I think that's
I love that you're doing that because obviously it's spreading and there's a lot of people talking about that because who else is doing it?
Right. I think also it's important for me just because like I've struggled with identity politics my whole entire life. And it's important for me to use my platform to kind of create a fluid conversation not only between the two languages and to show that they can work together and respond to each other seamlessly. But to also just show that like the cultures can too, you know? Just like me, you know? I'm a mix of both, and so the music can be too, and it can be beautiful and fun.
Yeah, for sure. Something else that we saw was the meaning of your group when you came out. You know, and I'm seeing that's a little bit of different flavor, that you're representing the strong women, right?
Yeah, for sure.
The women who go out there and do it and are just very strong. So can you touch on that for a second?
Yeah, so my group, I don't know if you guys have been tuning into American Idol.
You better have.
Yeah, but this past Monday they showed Group Round. And my group, we were 4 young women. And we came up with the name Don't Touch for our group. And so I explained at the beginning of that the name was important to us because we wanted to take the opportunity to inspire women and young girls to reclaim their minds, bodies, and their hearts. And so it's important for me to, I'm a very blunt person, and I'm a very opinionated person. And it's not always popular all the time, but it's important for me, like, if I have a platform, I'm going to use my platform to showcase what I believe in. And so, yeah, that's why I'm really glad that they showed that part of me introducing it, because that was a really, really crucial part of, like, our group evolution.
No, I mean, you definitely saw that through the camera.
Thank you.
So I got one question, and there's a fly flying around this room. It's driving me nuts.
It's a really big one.
Might want to crack the door here in a second and let that bad boy leave. So when we were doing the viewing party and they showed the video of you singing, you fell to the ground. You're like, not this one. What? So a couple people were asking, like, what happened? Like, what's the deal with that?
So, you know, I'm a perfectionist, and I'm very, I work hard, and I want to be respected, you know, for that. And I am a very hard marker on myself. I'm a biggest critic, but that's only just because I know that people are judging me and people will critique me, so I have to be ahead of it, you know what I'm saying? And so my audition was not perfect, and I'm not, listen, I said that in all my interviews even before it aired. I was like, yo, just so you know, it ain't that hot, you know what I'm saying? Because I was nervous. I sang with Lionel Richie at my audition, and I was completely shook after that. I was like literally shaking. It's like, how? Like, what a surreal moment. And then they're like, sing. You know? So, that's what happened, and it happened, and I'm a human being, and it happens, you know?
100%.
And singing is a full body thing. You know, it's not just your voice. And so my whole body was shook. So my voice was obviously going to reflect that. So, but my rehearsal sounded much better than that performance did.
Well, I mean, for all of us that sing in the shower, right, and think that's the best, even what you consider was something that was like, it was like, what?
Oh, thank you so much.
Right?
Thank you.
So what do you say to the people who get paralyzed by that fear, right? Like, they're either being judged, oh no, I'm about to screw this up, get paralyzed in the moment and never really move forward. Like, what do you say to people like that?
You just gotta keep going. Like, you just, you know, because life is so short, but it's also so long. You know, so like, if you don't do something, you're gonna have a long time to regret it.
100%.
You know what I'm saying?
Agreed.
And like, and also like especially because I come from, you know, entertainment background, so it's like, you only have one shot to do whatever the opportunity is that's up for you at that moment. You only have that one time. So like, are you really gonna cower away from that? Why? You know what I'm saying? Why are you afraid? Is it because of other people? Because if so, they're not living your life. You're living your life, you know? So that's what I would say to that. It's just like, you gotta do it just because you can't not do it. You know, like, I know that I'm probably not articulating that well.
No, I mean, that sounds perfect.
Thank you.
Because if they're in that moment, I mean, the pain of you walking away from this could be the only minute, the only second that you could have to really move forward in the passion that you love.
Exactly.
and you walk away from it, that pain is going to be so much worse than that uncomfortable feeling that you might sing with Lionel Richie.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
and even though even in my audition, like I knew it was going all over the place.
Right.
But I kept singing because I was like, what am I gonna do? Stop? You know what I'm saying? Like I kept singing even though I heard that first initial thing. You know, you got to keep going because, you know, like you said, like I literally am mortified by it to be completely real about it. But you were like, oh, it's so great. You know, so
that's right.
So, you know, don't be so hard on yourself and don't give your don't give people the credit to like determine how you move in your life.
How cool of a magical moment is that though?
What?
Right. You're like, what? But what I mean by that is like there's a blessing in there that you, I guess, in your world that you didn't hit the level that you wanted to hit because it tested you in that second.
Right.
And you kept going.
Right, you kept going.
And then not only is that story within you, it's a story for everyone else to watch, listen to this now, and like they screwed up on an interview or something yesterday and like, screw that, I'm going forward.
Right.
You know, so it's a blessing not only in your world, but that story continues.
Right, exactly. And I honestly, like I don't look at any of this about, or I don't feel that any of this is about me. I feel like God puts me in the situations that he puts me in so that I can bless other people and so that I can shine a light on others or talk about things that other people haven't really talked about but need to be talked about. You know? And so like that's honestly a big part of my motivation is like knowing that none of this has anything to do with me. I'm here doing what I'm doing, a part of God's greater purpose. And who am I to like get in the way? Who am I to tell God no? You know what I'm saying?
And you're not.
Right. So.
And look where you're at.
Yeah.
So this makes sense, right?
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna ask you a few questions, okay?
Yeah.
Because I feel like we're going there.
Okay.
All right. So the first question is, as it comes up, what do you believe separates excellent from average?
What separates excellent from average is how you treat others on your way to success or in the middle of your success. You know what I'm saying? I think that the way that you become excellent is by understanding that you need people around you. You need a support system. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like we all are part of this big global community. And that's not by accident. You know what I'm saying? So I think that the way that you achieve excellence is by understanding your place in that. And
And not just understanding it, I mean, like what you said, but actually taking action towards it.
Right.
Like in that moment when you're presented with it, actually moving forward because you understand that this is one big community and I got your back just as much as you got mine.
Right.
And you saw that in your group,
Exactly.
right? Where she was like,
exactly.
What, by the way, like I'm not a crying guy.
Yeah.
Almost teared up right there.
Yeah.
Because she stood up and she was like, just because you guys were there for me this whole time, till 3:30 in the morning.
Later.
And even later?
Yeah.
But she was still ready, like, I'll take this.
Yeah, that was a really moving moment for us too. And what they didn't show was like after she did that, like all of us were like bawling, like we were weeping because we're like, oh my God, really, you're gonna do that for us? Like, she was like, oh, I'm so grateful. We're like, oh, we love you. You know, like it was definitely one of those moments that that I'll always remember because I think that you know, it's so important to be grateful, you know what I'm saying, and to understand that like sometimes you have to sacrifice for other people, you know what I'm saying, and like she was willing to do that because she was grateful, you know what I'm saying, and we were willing to do that because we wanted her to succeed just as much as we wanted us to succeed, you know what I'm saying, like we are a group, it's a group effort, you know, it's a group performance, so if one person is falling apart, that reflects on everybody.
Lift everyone up.
Exactly, so that was a really important moment.
Yeah, and it's cool because like you guys will never forget that. And then there's that compounding thing. For everyone who watched it, will never forget that. And she builds her name up to be like legacy.
I know.
And as everyone together is building that group up. Like, and I love that she tested you guys and was like, hey, one of you guys have to volunteer. Like she tested what the name of your group was. So she tested it. It was cool to see it. It was cool to watch that all unfold.
It wasn't cool to experience.
No, I know. You stopped for a second. I was like, I think she thinks this is a joke.
No, I did think it was a joke because I was like, there's no way. Yeah. I was like, I know that we did really well, and like we all deserve to be here. Yeah. Like there's no way that they're actually going to do this to us. But like what they didn't show is they cut down, like they edited out how much time there was between like her saying that and Crystal like being willing to do it. Like it was a long pause. And then, so I started thinking, I was like, wait, she really is serious, right? So, that was wild.
It was cool to watch.
Thanks.
All right, next question. Do you have a favorite failure that you believe has set you up for success? Don't start?
Well, I don't really believe that I've had failures. I think that I've had learning moments. I think that I've had growth moments.
Yeah.
The moments that I feel like I've failed is like when I feel like I've hurt somebody's feelings. Like, to be honest, like as far as like accomplishments and, you know, whether or not I got this part or that part, I don't feel like that's a failure, because I feel like what's for you is always going to be for you. And what's not for you is never going to be for you, you know? Like, you know, when I was in high school, like, I ran for student council president, lost, you know what I'm saying? Like, I guess I could consider that a failure, but I don't, because if I had been president, I wouldn't have been able to transfer to another school and graduate high school a year early.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, and if I had gotten all the roles that I was so close to getting on, like, you know, Disney Channel, Nickelodeon, you know, all these things, like, I wouldn't have gone through the growth steps that I've gone through to get to who I am and where I am now, you know?
Agreed.
So, I think that,
Well, so then let's do this. Do you have a favorite learning moment? Because when we say failure here, the reason why we say failure is because in a different light, if you look at it a little bit different, we want people to, quote-unquote, fail. Like, we want them to move so hard and so fast towards their dreams that there's an expectation that you're going to fall.
Right.
But there's a learning moment in that. So let's go and just say, you know, what is your strongest learning moment from one of those quote-unquote failures that you can remember?
Okay, so this isn't like related. This isn't really related to my career, but it kind of is.
Cool.
So last year I was in a horrible, terrible, and bad relationship.
Gotcha.
And I completely lost myself. Didn't want to do music. Didn't think highly of myself at all. You know, I had PTSD from the relationship. I was depressed. I had to go through therapy, build myself back up. And that was my biggest learning moment, because my self-esteem was so low that I forgot who I am and why I'm here. You know what I'm saying? And I literally did not want to do music anymore after it, because I was like, I was completely deflated. Yeah. You know? And that relationship was a huge learning moment for me, because it's forced me to find my peace and to realize what I need to be happy. And music is something that makes me happy. It makes me incredibly happy. Nothing makes me happier than taking a song from my head that nobody else has heard, writing it down, writing lyrics down on a piece of paper, putting it with a track and recording it and putting harmonies on it and making it into giving an ideal life. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And then other people embracing that and receiving it. Like, that brings me so much happiness. So to have been at a point where I allowed another person's actions and words to take me out of that place of peace and that joy, like, that's my biggest learning moment, and I'm really grateful for it.
I love that.
Thanks.
You're welcome. And that's why, you know, your tribe, like the people that you surround yourself with, is so important. Yeah. And it goes back to what you were saying. We're one big community. Mm-hmm. So as we lift each other up, then we can kind of lift each other all in a higher place. And we got that one bad apple. Mm-hmm. Just need to X them out, right? Get rid of them. You know what I'm saying. All right. So here's another one. Okay. What have you gotten better to saying no to?
Wow. Excuse me. I've gotten better at saying no to self-doubt. I've gotten better at turning off the voice that tells me not to trust myself or tells me to veer anyway from my instincts, whether artistically or just like in everyday life. I've gotten better at that.
How do you do that?
I pray a lot. I meditate. I like to write poems. That helps me recenter.
Yeah.
And just like connect with who I am and like what I really desire out of life and out of like this season of my life. That's really important and essential for me personally. I can't speak for everybody else.
No,
but
it's
for
cool.
me personally,
yeah.
And people I was gonna say I'm selfish. I've learned to become selfish in that way, where it's like I just do what I know I need.
Yes.
And selfish often has a negative connotation behind it, but I don't think that it has to.
Right.
It's like, what's wrong with taking care of yourself?
Yep.
What's wrong with looking out for yourself?
Agreed.
You know what I'm saying? Like, why is that so negative? As long as your own self-care doesn't involve hurting others,
right.
What's wrong with it? So I've become selfish in the most positive way.
Yes.
And that's helped me reconnect with, who I want to be.
Agreed. I mean, and I'm going to just jump back into my coaching just for a second.
Okay.
One of the first things that we discuss is your calendar, right? Because what's in if it's not in your calendar, it doesn't exist type thing. And what we do is, the first things I want them to time block is family time, you time, friend time. We're very selfish. We don't even talk about business. Yeah. We're very selfish in the moment that you need to take care of yourself, because by doing that, one, you're going to attract the people you want to be around anyways.
Right.
And two, you're going to be a lot happier. So that is our number one focus. I agree with you 100% there.
Good. Thanks.
You're welcome. I get a little passionate over that stuff.
Yeah.
All right, so let's see. Here we go. If you had one extra hour a day, what would you do with it? You're the only one. Boom.
If I had 1 extra hour a day, I would spend more time with my dogs. For real.
No, let's do this.
For real, because I've been, very, very, very busy lately, and I know that they miss me. Every time I come home, they're like so excited to see me, and they're my best friends, and I just feel bad that I can't communicate with them as often as I can with like people. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wish I could FaceTime my dog and be like, I'm good, like, I love you, I hope you're having a good day, you know what I'm saying? I would spend
technology exists.
I know, but I would spend an hour with my dogs just, because I love them and want them to feel loved, because they help me get through things, so I want to be there for them.
Saw it in your Polaroids.
Yes, they're my best friends.
Yep. How many dogs?
2.
2?
Yes.
What kind of dogs?
So Ragtime, we don't really know what she is. She was a stray when we got her.
Yeah.
She's 13 now, almost 14.
Wow.
No, actually she's 14 this year. But yeah, she had a stroke last year, but she bounced back. She has a new lease on life. Like, she has so much more energy. Like, she saw the light, and it's like, I'm gonna make the most out of my life on this earth. And then we have Nala. I call her New Lulu because we're her third home. She came to us when she was 9 months old.
Gotcha.
And she was already named Nala, and I felt like she deserved, a little unique name, so I call her New Lulu. I love it. And she's a pit bull.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very cool, because there's a lot of dog lovers, including myself. We have 2 dogs as well. One's a mutt, and both are mutts. So I get it. And I feel like there's gonna be a lot of people that relate, that listen to this. Like, oh snap! They're gonna go home and they're gonna hug their dog. They're like, I love you.
You're right.
All right. So here's another one.
Okay.
What new belief, behaviors, or habits adopted within the last 5 years have the most positively impacted your life?
Meditating.
Meditating? So how do you do that? Because I know a lot of people say that. What's your strategy, I guess, with meditating? What do you do?
So I don't know, I always feel weird explaining it, but so I'm really big on like mixing or like using like natural healing and remedies and stuff like that, like my ancestors used to do.
Okay.
Or would do. Such as like burning sage and, like dancing, and so, but also like using that in conjunction with Christianity. So like as I meditate, like I pray, in Jesus' name. I ask my ancestors for guidance. because, you know, your blood.
Yeah.
That's all your ancestors. Everything that you are is your ancestors, you know. So I ask my ancestors for guidance, and I pray. I sit on my floor, and I will burn sage, or I'll light I'll burn like honeysuckle and palo santo oil, and I'll just sit and meditate. I'll get down and fingers crossed applesauce.
Yeah.
And I imagine a white light filling my body. And cleansing my body, and putting any negativity, any negative energy or anything into there, putting it into the white light and expelling it with each breath. That's what I do.
I love that.
Thanks.
And I'll tell you why, because I was asked that same question in a podcast, and mine's a little bit different, but it's cool because anytime I ask someone that and it goes into the meditation world, I taste some stuff, like the imagining of the white light and just cleansing my body. That's a strategy that I'll probably take away from this and see how much that impacts me.
Good.
As well.
No, it literally my brother told me that I needed to meditate a while ago, and I never did. And then one day I was just really down. I was like, let me try meditating.
Yeah.
You know. And so I did it, and I was like, oh, I feel like I might actually get something really good out of this. So then I Googled. So one day while I was meditating, I felt and saw a white light, and I was nervous. I was like, oh my God, am I tapping into something? And I called my brother. I was like, why am I seeing a white light?
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, that's actually an essential part of meditation. That's how you know that you've reached, you know, you've cleansed or whatever.
Yeah.
So then I Googled it, and it was white light meditation is a thing. And so a lot of different people either seek the white light or imagine the white light breathing it in.
Yes.
And you actually and so I've adopted breathing in the white.
Yeah, you're doing it right now.
Right. Yeah. Breathing in the white light and letting and visualizing. The cleansing energy, and you literally feel your body start to vibrate.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. So now I'm thinking I'm not doing this right. So I see more of a pulsating.
Okay.
More of a pulsating light versus just this, and it sounds like it hits you naturally, enough where you had to Google it.
Yeah,
and you're finding out that people are searching it.
No, I was really freaked out about it because I was like, oh my God, because it was so powerful, and I was like, I'm doing something that I should back away from. When I talked to my parents about it, you know, I was actually really nervous about it. But yeah, but that's so why it's so important to be educated on things, you know, and to look into things for yourself, because my brother put me onto meditation, but he didn't tell me about the white light at first, you know what I'm saying? So it's important to look into things for yourself to see how it can really benefit you. Right.
And it just came naturally to you.
Right, yeah. Mm-hmm. So I swear by meditation now, just because it's always so, it's such a unique cleansing experience.
Agreed.
You know?
Everything becomes very fresh in the moment.
Yes.
Agreed. 100%. Okay. All right, so this one's pretty cool. So purchases of less than $100 that have most improved your life.
Probably my sage and my palo santo, which are $3 at a cleansing store.
It brought one of the biggest impacts in your life.
Yeah, because while I was kind of getting myself back from my relationship, I had to figure out. I was like, what is gonna get me back, you know? And so I just walked into the store, and because I saw on Instagram, I followed this spiritual healer. I don't know if for lack of a better word, on Instagram, and she posted a cleansing ritual to heal yourself of exes.
Right.
And I was like, sure, let me do that. I'm
you're shooting at everything.
Yeah, I'll do whatever I can, dog.
Yeah.
And so she talked about sage and salt baths and stuff and lavender oils and stuff like that. And so I went over to Dina's Dreams, I don't know how to explain it. Or
it's one of those, guaranteed.
Yeah, but so I went over there, and I got some sage, and I got some palo santo, and I just cleansed everything. And it naturally lifts you up.
Awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very cool, very cool. All right, so let's do the next one then. What are some unusual habits that you have? Oh, let's choose that one. Oh, that one hit.
I don't even know. I feel like maybe... Like what? Like how I get ready in the morning, how I interact with people, how I... What?
Whichever one comes up first.
Okay, I guess it's kind of unusual, but like whenever I see like a dog, like somebody walking their dog, because I've been living in New York the last couple of years, so like whenever I see anybody like walking their dog, like I always like stop and like wave at the dog and like talk to the dog, and like the human just walks past. You know, like I'm like that person on the street that just like
There's
talks
a true
to dogs.
love when it comes to dogs in
Yeah, no, it is.
Where'd that come from?
I grew up with a dog. I got my first dog. She died when I was 19. We had her 17 years. Wow. So I had her my whole life. So I've just grown up with dogs.
And the love just stayed.
Yeah, I mean, how can it go? Like dogs, like you'll never find a loyalty that is more.
Yep.
That is just more. That is like more pure than that of a dog. You know.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Couldn't agree with you more. So I'm noticing, because I have tattoos myself, and you may have already been asked this question.
Yeah.
I see a tattoo on your arm.
Yes.
Oh, well dang, I saw this one over there. That's the one I saw. Yeah. So that one.
This one.
Does that one have a meaning?
Yeah, so this is a crescendo, which in music is like, it's the symbol for like growth and like getting louder. Okay. So I got this to kind of represent like eternal growth, like both in music and just like in my life. Gotcha. But this way, it's V for my last name, and Roman numeral 5, because there's 5 of us in my immediate family. So like a lot of people think it's like a bobby pin or something, but it's not. It like holds a lot of meaning for me.
Which the bobby pin holds close to you too, right?
Right.
Like,
I mean,
you can add some connection there too.
Yeah, I mean, who lives a life without bobby pins? That's a girl. Girls know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I find them all over the house.
Yeah.
I'm like, they love these darn things, but they didn't pick them up.
Yeah.
All right. So what about the other ones?
This one says "Vaya con Dios." It means "go with God" in Spanish, and it's inside of an arrow. Gotcha. This one says "Cree en ti." That means "believe in yourself" in Spanish. Gotcha. And then I have a tattoo here. It says "Vive ya," which means "live already" in Spanish.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. Next one?
That's it.
Now, what's the next one you're
going to get? So actually somebody hit me up and wants to give me a free tattoo because they saw me on TV. Yeah. So...
are we allowed to say their name?
Yeah, sure. New Addiction Tattoo.
Yep. Right down the street.
Yeah, so the owner hit me up on Facebook. I was like, well, I got a free tattoo. I was like, yeah. So I'm going to hit him up after this actually to see when I can get it. Awesome. But I think I want to get the Leo constellation. Okay. Here. Yeah, I'm a Leo. July 29th. Yeah.
That's awesome, man.
Thanks.
All right, so here's something I just added on my last podcast.
Okay.
And it looks like it's going pretty good, so I'm going to throw it at you.
Okay.
What question do you have for me?
Why do you do podcasts?
So the first initial reason of me focusing on podcasts is the understanding that we'll be moving to audio.
Yeah.
In our business. I love business. I love how it works. I love where it's going. Mm-hmm. And people made fun of me when I jumped on Snapchat. You know who you are. In order to talk to people and sell homes. And I was selling homes through Snapchat.
Yeah.
And audio.
That's smart though.
Yeah, for sure, because of storytelling.
Right.
100% storytelling. And we're human beings and we're attracted to stories.
Yes.
It was my way of telling my story.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are attracted to it. So that's pretty cool. The podcast is in the realm of audio. Mm-hmm. We're going audio. And there's going to be a day, and I'm sure a lot of people already see this, to where you walk in your home, and you say, hey, bring up podcast 3 of Proven by Ruben podcast. That was an amazing podcast. Let's just listen to it.
Yeah.
They're going to walk into their house, and their house is just going to start playing this.
Right.
It's just another medium to get ahead of the curve on. Mm-hmm. Like how you prepare yourself in that moment. If it's going to go a little south, you go ahead and start preparing yourself.
Right, yeah.
I prepare in my business, the people I coach, of where we need to be moving next, and it's audio.
Mm-hmm. That's smart. Makes sense.
So I brought myself the podcast.
Yeah, that's smart.
And it's cool because like I could tell my story, sure, and that's kind of why this last question, I get a chance to tell the story. Mm-hmm. But I'm so interested, and I think the listeners are too, of someone else's story, right?
Yeah.
And I think in the long run we find that we're all connected.
We are. We are.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why I love music, is because I feel like there's nothing that connects people to each other's humanity like music.
Doesn't matter the language, where you come from.
Exactly, it's a feeling, you know. Yep. Audio is a feeling.
That's right.
You know, it's a it's literally a wavelength and a vibration that either resonates with your wavelengths and vibrations, or it doesn't. You know, regardless of what language it is, regardless of how loud it is. If you feel it, you feel it. So, I respect that.
Awesome. Cool. Well, good. So here's the last question.
Okay.
So there are people that are listening to this right now, and what I'd like for you to do is, what question do you have for everyone listening? Something they can leave with that they ask themselves, pretty impactful, no pressure, but what's the question that you would like to ask everyone who's listening?
Have you done something today that will bring you closer to accomplishing your dreams?
Guys, have you done something today that will bring you closer to your dreams? So comment, message, hit up Lee over Facebook, Instagram. How can they reach you?
Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat is all at Lee Vasi. That's LeeLeeVasi.
You throw rhythm to that.
Oh yeah, I do answer DMs and everything, and I respond to people. So hit me up.
So answer that question. That's right, and answer that question. There's a reason why she asked it. Well, I had a fantastic time. Thank you for stopping by. Yeah. I want to say the best of luck, but I think you already got this thing.
Aw, thank you.
Till next time.
Till next time.
Awesome.
Bye.
See you later. Dude, that was bomb.
Yeah, that was
bomb. Thank you so much.
Thank you.